When you decide to stop masturbating, something fascinating happens inside your body and mind. It's not just a switch that turns off a habit, it's a full body recalibration. Your hormones, brain chemistry, and even your emotions start rearranging themselves, sometimes quietly, sometimes dramatically. This isn't about judging what's right or wrong, it's about understanding what's real. Because whether you do it daily, occasionally, or never at all, your body keeps score of what you do with your energy, your stress, and your impulses. 1. Physical reactions. What the body actually does. Let's start with the physical side, the one most people rarely talk about openly. For men, semen isn't like some stagnant pool waiting to overflow. The body constantly produces it, reabsorbs it, and recycles it. Think of it like a biological economy. Your body is always managing its resources. When you stop masturbating, that system doesn't just stop. It adapts. If you've gone several weeks without release, your body might decide to take matters into its own hands, so to speak, leading to what's known as a nocturnal emission or wet dream. It's the body's natural maintenance process, a reminder that biology doesn't always wait for permission. Some men even describe feeling a subtle tension in their lower abdomen or a heaviness after several days of abstaining. That's not energy building up in some mystical sense. It's simply your reproductive system working as designed. Just like your stomach growls when it needs food, your body has its own signals for sexual release. But what's interesting is how awareness of these signals changes your relationship with them. Some people report sharper concentration and motivation because they're not chasing instant gratification. Others feel distracted, restless, or even frustrated. Physically, both responses make sense. Your body is adjusting to a new rhythm. For women, the physical shifts are more subtle, but just as real. Regular sexual activity, whether through masturbation or with a partner, keeps blood circulating in the pelvic area and promotes hormonal balance. When you take a break, you might notice mild tension, mood fluctuations, or even a sense of disconnection from your body. This doesn't mean anything is wrong, it's simply your body saying, hey, we changed something. The pelvic region is deeply tied to relaxation and emotional grounding. So when you pause that stimulation, other stress outlets like breathing exercises, yoga, or creative expression become even more important. Think of it as rerouting water in a stream. When one channel closes, the current finds another path. The human body is astonishingly adaptive when you let it be. 2. The brain, dopamine, and the reward system. If the body reacts quietly, the brain tends to protest loudly. Masturbation releases dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter that rewards us for pleasurable experiences. It's the same chemical involved in eating chocolate, winning a game, or getting a like on social media. Over time, if you rely on masturbation for quick emotional comfort, your brain learns to expect that hit of dopamine whenever you feel stressed or bored. So when you stop suddenly, it can feel like unplugging a source of calm. You might become irritable, restless, or anxious without knowing why. It's not that you've lost control. It's just your brain adjusting to a new normal. Imagine a person who drinks coffee every morning suddenly deciding to quit cold turkey. The first few days come with headaches, mood swings, and low energy. It's not addiction in the dramatic sense. It's chemistry recalibrating. The same principle applies here. In fact, a 2021 study showed that people who completely abstained from masturbation often experience stronger cravings than those who practiced it occasionally. That doesn't mean abstinence is bad. It means balance matters. The brain doesn't respond well to extremes. When you stop, your reward system temporarily downshifts. That space can feel uncomfortable, but it also opens an opportunity to explore where your pleasure truly comes from. Instead of quick release, some people report rediscovering joy in touch, connection, or even everyday activities. Others feel creative energy surge because that dopamine seeks a new outlet. The key is awareness. You're not losing pleasure, you're learning how to experience it differently. 3. Focus, motivation, and the myth of superpowers. If you've ever wandered into online forums about NoFap, you'll see people claiming extraordinary transformations. Clearer skin, magnetic energy, laser focus, and unstoppable confidence. While personal discipline can indeed change how we feel, science doesn't fully back those miracle claims. There's no verified research proving that abstaining from masturbation directly increases focus or motivation. However, what might actually be happening is psychological reframing. When someone decides to stop, they often replace the habit with intentional structure: workouts, journaling, meditation, or creative projects. That structure itself boosts focus, not the absence of masturbation. It's similar to how people feel amazing after doing a digital detox. The clarity doesn't come from the lack of screen time. It comes from using time more consciously. But for others, especially those with strong urges or addictive patterns, quitting abruptly can create internal tension, frustration, intrusive thoughts, or heightened stress. In such cases, complete abstinence might make mental health worse before it gets better. Think of it like dieting. If you suddenly ban your favorite food completely, you may end up craving it even more. But if you develop a balanced relationship with it, understanding why you reach for it, you're far more likely to maintain long-term control. The takeaway? Discipline without compassion turns into punishment. The goal isn't to suppress desire, but to integrate it healthily. 4. Shame, guilt, and the emotional landscape. Here's where the topic gets deeply human. Many people who struggle with masturbation guilt aren't actually fighting biology, they're fighting belief systems. Across cultures, sex and masturbation have often been wrapped in silence, shame, or moral judgment. Young people grow up hearing that sexual desire is dirty or weak, and that conditioning lingers well into adulthood. So when someone tries to quit, they sometimes do it not from curiosity or balance, but from self-rejection. That emotional weight can be far more damaging than the act itself. In therapy, clients often describe feeling impure or out of control, even though they're doing something completely natural. That kind of shame can lead to anxiety, depression, and disconnection from one's body. The healthier approach is compassion, recognizing sexual energy as part of human life, not something to fear or suppress. Whether you decide to masturbate, abstain, or fluctuate between the two, the intention behind the choice matters more than the choice itself. If you ever feel that your habits, or your attempt to stop, cause distress, that's the time to talk to a professional. Sex therapists and mental health counselors are trained to help people understand their impulses without judgment. It's not about labeling behaviors as good or bad, it's about aligning them with your well-being. 5. Understanding yourself. Without judgment at its core, this isn't a debate about morality or willpower. It's a conversation about self-awareness. You can choose to masturbate regularly and still live a balanced, mentally healthy life. You can also choose to stop and discover discipline and self-respect through restraint. Both paths can be empowering if they come from a place of clarity rather than shame. What's harmful is the all-or-nothing thinking, believing that pleasure equals weakness or that abstinence equals superiority. True control comes not from denial, but from understanding. If you ever take a break and feel the urge rising, don't interpret that as failure. See it as feedback, your body communicating with you. Maybe it's tension, maybe it's loneliness, maybe it's just biology doing its thing. Listen, learn, and respond with kindness. Because the deeper lesson here isn't about sex at all, it's about your relationship with yourself. Final reflection. Stopping masturbation doesn't magically transform your life, nor does continuing it doom you to failure. The changes you feel, physical, emotional, or mental, are signals of a body and mind learning to adapt. So whether you're exploring abstinence for self-discipline, curiosity, or spiritual reasons, remember, you are not broken, you are simply evolving. And evolution is messy, uncomfortable, and beautiful all at once.